Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. This will be one of the longer videos. We will still be discussing the central cannon versus greenhouse defense with edge cannon for chariot exchange variation. But today's video shows one of the most common methods of attack that have not been categorized in the above videos. So please, this video is a little bit longer, but please do go through the entire video to learn the intricacies of this very commonly seen opening. So without further ado, let us begin. Central cannon, greenhouse defense, 7th pawn rank chariot, edge cannon for chariot exchange variation. And in this game, red would charge the pawn forward. Now this is the hallmark of this variation. Red chooses to attack, chooses for repeat attack via the central file. Now this is very commonly seen in over the gameplay, especially on online. And I usually when I play the edge cannon variation, I often encounter this red variation as black. And the room for error is minimal and it's very complicated. So red has shown that he's going for a rapid attack on the central file. Again, black would usually play a prophylactic move of a4 plus 5 to strengthen the central file, and also retreat the cannon if necessary to lend support to this cannon. Now, it would usually be mandatory for red to charge the pawn again, sacrificing it so early in the game. Now, this is perhaps the most popular variation and one that players with a very aggressive disposition would like to do. So, at this point in time, another sometimes commonly seen variation will be to play c8 equals to 7. Because the cannon had retreated, this horse will be left hanging. There's nothing to protect this horse, and red would be prepared to play b7 plus 1. But again, this would be another complicated position. Black would continue with a c9 equals to 7, dislodging the chariot, and black would start his attack very early in the game. Now, if he had played h7 plus 8, red will retreat this chariot to his pawn rank, and he will have an initiative because black cannot further his attack on this file, and he will be prepared to attack the course over here. So p7 plus 1 is one of black's ways of dealing with the situation. p3 plus 1, h8 plus 6. Controlling the pawn rank is essential. It's very essential in this opening system. This is 5-7 cannons with edge horse, h2 plus 3. Now, c2 plus 3 to attack the central pawn. Now, this is the correct move. This is the recommended move. c7 plus 4 at this point in time would not be a good idea, even though black would be attacking the elephant, because red can simply retreat his cannon, retreat his horse in this manner, and he will start to attack this file. There's always a threat of r9 equals to 8 followed by r4 equals to 3, so red will be able to cause a lot of trouble. p7 plus 1, black attacks his plan, capture, sacrificing the horse, and making use of the sacrifice to develop material, protecting, still insisting on claiming the central pawn, retreating the cannon, settling the horse, which is now unprotected, and black sacrificed material, but he will now be able to be on the attack, and he can be very optimistic. Red's defense at the bottom is not very ideal, so c7 plus 8, this was the variation shown in the book. It's still sometimes seen in actual play. I sometimes play this variation. It's quite fun, but it's very easy to fall into traps that you would not expect if you're not very familiar with this opening system. Unfortunately, I had hoped that the book would do a longer board on this opening, but unfortunately this was their only reference. So back to the main line, red would charge the pawn forward again, c9 equals to 7, dislodging the chariot, pushing the pawn forward, and this would be the discussion, a position of discussion for today's board. Red will be attacking from the center, black will be countering from this flank. Now, p7 plus 1 is a breakthrough move. In the past, p5 plus 1 was played, or e3 plus 5 was played, but for example, in the past, p5 plus 1 was played, or even e3 plus 5 to allow for development of the chariot. But these are old school methods, and a lot of competition boards have shown that this is not a viable alternative. Instead, p7 plus 1 would be the better move. Now, faced with this attack, red would have two variations that were discussed, p3 plus 1 and h3 plus 5. Now, for first the variation A, p3 plus 1. Okay, black will consolidate his defense in anticipation of red's attack along the central file. Now he cannot jump the gun and play ra plus 6 because red would develop his left chariot, consolidate, a7 plus 5, and once red were able to link the horses up from the center, black will be under a lot of pressure because now the attack from the center will be humongous. And red would have the initiative. He will be prepared to develop left chariot, and all 6 pieces will be ready to go. And the chariot would not be able to do much at this point. If it moves here, it will be trapped. So red would have the initiative. Now, if instead of e3 plus 5, if let's say black jump the gun with h7 plus 5, hoping to dislodge the chariot and capture game material, red would be more than happy to sacrifice material, the check, and c8 equals to 3 will be the key move because now red will be threatening to capture the elephant. And red will gain tempo in this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4 major pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Black will have one extra piece, but he will now lose either one of the horses, and red will gain tempo in this attack. So that is why e3 plus 5 is a better move instead of e7 plus 8. And why the horse cannot move, cannot simply advance, because now it will be needed to offer defense on the central file. So alright, plus 6 is not a good idea. e3 plus 5. p5 equals to 4. Now would be the better time because the attack on the central file is less pressurizing. h8 plus 7. Now this is a relatively steadfast method. If p4 equals to 3 to attack, red would have used up too many moves moving this pawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Black will have to pay. There will be consequences. The chariot will now attack. If the pawn has nowhere to run, if it moved, it will be captured by the horse or lose the cannon. So, and black would also have the threat of capturing the elephant. Okay, as can be seen at this point in time, black would be active and develop. Black would be more able to contend. Now let's say if red attacked, there's always a counter attack. There's always a counter attack going on, and black will have a very nice position. So h8 plus 7, h8 plus 6, offering the horse as exchange of material. Now this is a concise, no-nonsense move, and it will prompt the perfection of the situation, and red's attack would not be as successfully as he would have hoped it to be. And after trading material, there's still a cannon pin, and red will be forced to resolve it. And the chariot is developed. Attack. This is to prevent c2 equals to 9 from happening. At this point in time, it will be an even situation. Red would have number of pawns is equal, but the pawns will be ready to advance. Black would be pressurizing, but basically speaking, this would be an even situation where neither color can hope to be safe. So, but after trading material, the game will become more drawish. So this would be variation A, whereby p3 plus 1 is played. In variation B, h3 plus 5, red continues to attack. This is more commonly seen in tournaments. p7 plus 1. Now, would it be a good idea? There are a lot of variations here. This will be the first subvariation. Would it be a good idea to play h7 plus 6? Let us see what they gave us. Retreat, capture, capture check, consolidating and also allowing for r1 equals to 4, h8 plus 3, threatening to gain material, counter, threatening the chariot and also the cannon, pin, defending, and red has the initiative firmly in hand. There's plenty of room for development of the material, and black will be all sorts of trouble. Now, as for e3 plus 5, if red tried to play h3 plus 5 and tried to go for a central cannon, red will attack the cannon, retreat, and now the threat of the central cannon would not be there anymore, and instead black will now be prepared to charge the pawn and develop his left flank. Red would have a significant advantage. He could also link the elephants up for defense. So that is why h3 plus 5 is not a good idea. Instead, e3 plus 5 would be better. And shall we recount? p7 equals to 6 is, according to the book, is not so okay. But I've seen matches whereby there were new novelties involving p7 equals to 6, but they are beyond the topic of discussion for this board. Okay, p7 plus 1. Again, the pressure on this file is tremendous, and so is the pressure on the central file. Red attacks h5 plus 6, and black offers the horse as a sacrifice as he plays r8 plus 8 to prevent the elephant from moving, so that he could organize a flank attack over here. Now h3 minus 4 is a bad move because red would now charge the pawn across the river, threatening the chariot, protecting, check, f4 equals 2 to after trading chariots, the pressure will be relieved, and red could continue his attack on the central file. It will also allow for development of his chariot over here. r1 equals to 2, p5 equals to 6, a discovered check, and black's position will collapse because now the horse will be ready to go for a checkmate. The cannon cannot simply leave his current defensive roles. So red would have a significant advantage at this point in time. So h3 minus 4 is not a good idea. Instead, black would be better for black to sacrifice the horse. And red is not in a hurry to capture the horse. Now, if he were, this might happen. Another sacrifice, threatening to capture the elephant. A check, protect, link, e7 plus 5, threat capture. And it will be hard for black to make any gains at this point in time because the issue of the pawn is very big, and black is bound to gain back lost material. There will not be any good lines for further development, and black can be very happy with this position. So h6 plus 7 is not viable, neither will a4 plus 5 be, as red will try to attempt a prophylactic defensive move. p7 equals to 6, again the pawn is sacrificed, offered as sacrifice, red refuses to accept and plays h8 plus 7, capture, and red black would be ready to play c7 equals to 4 to deliver a discover check and capture the red chariot. And 1, e3 plus 5, capture, 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 push. Now, this is very commonly seen Tabia in major operating systems, and usually speaking, it's very complicated with very, very small room for error. But there will be a lot of trades that will ensue shortly later, and if both colors played correctly, it will be a draw. So a4 plus 5 is also seen, but in the book we'll be discussing h8 plus 7 and h3 plus 5. Now, it would not be a good idea to play h7 plus 8 again, because red will now play r4 equals to 3, forcing the black to decide whether to sacrifice material or to attack. Now, black would usually go for h8 plus 7, sacrificing the cannon, but allowing for his horse to go for the elbow horse attack and threaten to checkmate. Black would defend in this manner, capture the chariot. So at this point in time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 black red major pieces versus 1, 2, 3, 4 red major pieces, but black's pawns are now a terrible threat. And red would draw first blood with this move. So by capturing the advisor, there will be many things that red will be prepared to do. But either way, red would have that slight advantage in this situation. So e3 plus 5 might be a more steadfast position instead of h7 plus 8. And h7 plus 8, offering the cannon. Now, if he chose to play h7 minus 5, the congestion over here would be terrible. c2 minus 1. And red might not be able to make much of this situation, as he could not resolve the pressure on this file at this point in time. And now, after consolidating the defense on the central file, black can now finally prepare to attack the chariot. Another viable option would be to capture the cannon. This will be a counter capture, and this will be similar to the main line. So hc2 plus 5 is also viable, but this would be a trade instead of gaining material, because there's always r4 plus 2. Now, if instead of h7 plus 8, c7 equals to 8 were played, red would now threaten the cannon, attack, and red would have the advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but red will be attacking. p5 plus 1 on the next move will be a very powerful move that black would have trouble dealing with. So h7 plus 8, r4 equals to 3, trades material, attacks, captures, and after liquefaction of the situation, you become drawish. The intensity has decreased remarkably, and it will be an even situation. So today's board, p5 plus 1 is our main topic of discussion, and p7 plus 1 over here will be the position of discussion after playing p5 plus 1 by red earlier on. So let us view this board from the eyes of black. Central cannon, 7 pawn, pawn rank, chariot, edge cannon for chariot exchange, to this board, p5 plus 1, prophylactic move, p5 plus 1 again, because if hc8 equals to 7, it leads to another complicated situation. But black can sacrifice material to gain a very desirable attacking position. So c9 equals to 7, dislodging the chariot, attack, and the position of discussion. Variation A, p3 plus 1. h3 plus 5, allowing for r1 equals to 4, and also consolidating the defense on the central file. Okay, P5 equals to 4, and H8 plus 7. P4 equals to 3 would not be as good because Red will be able to maneuver his material and gain back, be able to contend. And H8 plus 6, offering a trade of material. After trading material, more trades will follow, and Black will now have a slight advantage. Red's deposit is a little bit faster, but Black will not have to worry about it so much at this point in time. P1 plus 1, and it is an even situation for both colors. Variation B, H3 plus 5. P7 plus 1 to attack, no mercy. If H7 plus 6, Black would have the advantage from me in hand with very ample space for development, and Black would have a congested space instead. Chariot plus 6, R8 plus 8, sacrificing the horse because Black will have a very powerful attack going on slightly later on. H8 plus 7, there are two other variations. 6 equals to 7, and Red would not be able to make much success of this situation. A4 plus 5, A4 plus 5, and both colors will be attacking, fierce attacking, and there will be ample opportunities, but it will be hard for either side to try to control the situation. E3 plus 5, the steadfast option. If H7 plus 8, Red will be now attacking, and Red will draw first blood. See H7 plus 8 to offer the cannon. H7 minus 5 is not a good idea because Red's position will be congested. So H7 plus 8, continuing. Again, C2 plus 5 trading. Cannons is okay, but Black will still be given a chance to attack, and it will be similar to the same line, the main line, sorry. And after a few more rounds of to and fro trades, the situation has basically evened off. Neither color would appear to have gained upper hand. So I hope you've enjoyed today's slightly longer video. I try to keep them within about 10 or 15 minutes now, but this variation is quite complicated, and if you like the work I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.